All right, new details tonight in an exclusive I-Team investigation. Allegations of abuse by police at T.F. Green Airport, the airport police. A Warwick man is suing the airport for $10 million. And we found out that he's not the only one with these kinds of complaints. The I-Team has reviewed complaints against airport police officers. In most cases, passengers and visitors are complaining about how they've been treated. The I-Team's Parker Gavigan breaks down the complaints.
We asked TF Green for all the complaint reports against police officers over the last 3 years. There have been 10 of them, and we got a hold of 9. One is still undecided. The common underlying theme has to do with how officers treat the public. This complaint from July of 2014 claims an officer was insulting, arrogant, and unprofessional, threatening to tow a vehicle with 2 small children in it.
I said, "Why are you bothering me?" And he said to me, "I've been doing this for over 20 years. Too bad I picked you tonight."
Greg Bogosian tells the NBC 10 I-Team he was followed by an officer from one level of the airport to another and quickly taken out of his car and into custody. 25 seconds from when his tires stopped, an airport officer abruptly opened his doors. He was in cuffs moments later. His wife and 2-year-old daughter watched just feet away in disbelief.
I don't want anyone to ever go through what I went through at the airport.
In other recent complaints against airport police, one woman was told to leave the arrival area. When she tried to explain, the officer, she said, replied that he didn't give a crap and was generally rude. Another woman said she was picking up a passenger and an officer pounded on the window and told her to move it. An investigator reviewed videotape and reported the officer was seen tapping the driver's side window. A separate complaint was lodged against an officer by a woman picking up her wheelchair-bound mother. The woman claimed she was yelled at to move her car. She was upset at the officer's attitude, tone, and extreme and uncalled-for behavior when dealing with the public. She thought the officer should be spoken to about his demeanor, and the airport complaint says he was talked to by a supervisor. On a positive note for police, one complainant said an officer grabbed him and stopped him from walking in a crosswalk. The report shows an investigator spoke to the man and he appeared drunk. A second look at the videotape shows the officer's quick reaction prevented potentially serious injury. It's important to note nearly all the complaints were marked unfounded by an airport investigator. The NBC 10 I-Team has asked the airport for clarification, but we do not know if the investigator of the complaints actually questions the accused officers. And we don't know who is making these complaints or the officers involved, and that's because the airport has blacked out their names, saying it's protected information. Now, the airport also tells us they'd like to have 0 complaints, but 10 in 3 years is a low number, considering more than 10 million passengers come through their door. They tell us it speaks to the professionalism of their officers. I'm I-Team reporter Parker Gavigan, NBC 10 News.